Now that you've gotten your development environment set up, it's time to run our very first PHP script. So I've gone ahead and started up Visual Studio Code, and I've also gone ahead and started up my Apache web server. Now we will need to have a working directory where we will store our files that we will be running. So we will have to open up our XAMPP htdocs folder, and remember, this is in our C drive. It should be installed, and open up XAMPP, open up our htdocs folder, and I have created a directory for this course called Applied Web, and I will be working from the lessons directory. So I'll just go ahead and drag this and drop it inside my Visual Studio, and it will open up this directory for me. And also in my local host, I'll go ahead and change this to Applied Web, and we can see here the different subdirectories inside of our Applied Web folder, and I'm working from the lessons. So I'll click on that, and we don't currently have any files in here. So I can create a new file and call it hello.php. And now you should see, let's close this for now. And now you should see this pop up here, right? So you just click on refresh, and now we see hello.php. All right, so let us set up our document. So let's do doc type HTML. And we need our head tags. Inside our head tags, let's have a title. And let's just call it first PHP script. And of course, we need our body tag. All right, so now we have our HTML file set up within our PHP document. And in order to run PHP, we first need our PHP tags. So let's open up our PHP tag, which will be, and this is our closing tag. So everything in between these two tags will be executed, and we can do an echo statement, hello world. So let us save this. And two ways to run this file. We could either click on it, or we could type it into the web browser. So we can say hello.php and hit enter, and we see hello world being printed out to our page, right? So we could also use the print statement, and we can actually embed all right, let us just say this is my first PHP script. And here in our echo statement, since it's at the top, I'm going to just do an h2 tag just to show us how we can work with HTML and PHP together. So let me save this and refresh. And we see that that has now changed to an H2 header. Hello world, this is my first PHP script. So we see here we can use both the echo and print functions to print some text or output to our web browser. So we have demonstrated we can use either the double quotes or single quotes. And as we go throughout this course, we will see the differences between double and single quotations. Also, with the print function, I do not really have to use parentheses here. So if I remove them and save the file and refresh, it will still have the same result. Okay, so we looked at the differences before in our PowerPoint presentation. We know that echo can have multiple arguments, but print can only have one argument. Now let's take a look at what we mean by echo being able to have multiple arguments and print only being able to have one argument. So let us declare two variables and let us say first name equals Jennifer and last name is equal to Smith. All right, so now we can actually say we can add these to our statements, and in order to join values in an echo statement or a print statement, we can do what is called joining or concatenating values. And in PHP, we use the dot to concatenate. So we can say, and when we're typing our variables, don't forget to use the $sign. So we can separate this by comma, name. So let us save this, and if we refresh, we see here we get Jennifer Smith. Right, so okay, so it printed on the second line before this is my first PHP script. And the reason for this, we will need to add a new line statement. So we can actually use a break, a BR tag, and this will throw anything that comes after this echo statement into a new line. So let us save it and refresh. Right, so now we're echoing Jennifer Smith. And the reason it does not have the H3 styling or element is simply because we closed off our H2 here. So if we wanted it to have the same styling, we could remove this. Let's undo, sorry. We could remove this. So let us cut this from here, add it right here, and save it. Refresh. And we see here, hello world, Jennifer Smith. All right, so we see here we have multiple arguments here in our echo statement. We have two variables. If we were to try this with our print statement, so if we were to say dot fname, comma, name, and put a break. And if we save this and try to run it, of course, we're going to get a syntax error. It's going to tell us there's an unexpected token and the issue is on line 14 inside hello.php. So if we go to line 14, we see here that is our print statement, and we are definitely going to get an error because a print statement does not allow us to have multiple arguments. So we would have to remove one of these and refresh. And of course, now we're getting one name or just the first name. And we can also throw in a new line here at the beginning just to make this a little bit more readable, and refresh. Oh, let's actually put this, let's put another new line here. I can simply echo. Okay. Oh, my bad. I need to have the break between this script and Jennifer. So we need to actually move this. So we don't need this. So let's undo. And we can put it right here. Right, so you just have to know where in your script you need the different elements to get the desired output that you're looking for. So now when we refresh, of course, we get Jennifer on a new line. So that is essentially the difference between our echo and print statements, and we'll be using them interchangeably throughout the course. One other thing I wanted to point out with echo and print, with the single and double quotations, if we needed to have any type of apostrophe, so let us say let's copy this print statement. And I'm just going to remove this section of it. And let's just say I wanted to say this is, instead of my, I could say this is Susie's with an apostrophe, right? If I wanted to say this is Susie's first PHP script, you can see here that with adding this single quotation here, it has totally changed this string. So if I was to save this, and let me comment out these other lines for now. So in PHP, there are several ways you can do a comment. You can do a double forward slash, and that comments out the code. You can also use a hashtag. This has also commented out this section of code. And you can also use a multi-line comment. So if we wanted to comment out our variables, we could do a forward slash star, and we simply close it off with a star forward slash. So these are the three different ways we can do commenting in PHP. Okay, so now we're just focused on one statement. So this is Susie's first PHP script. PHP will skip over everything before this line. And if we save it now and try to run it, we'll see we get a syntax error, okay? And that's to be expected because this single quote has totally changed this string. So in order, if you want to use single quotes, in order to get around this, we have to use what is known as an escape string. So we have to use the backslash to escape this apostrophe here. So you can see now our string looks like it's supposed to look. And when we refresh it, we do get our apostrophe. All right. And if we were using double quotations, so let me copy this line again. And let's say we were using double quotes for this one. And let's just say this is also James's. And we don't have apostrophe S, we just put the apostrophe on the outside. If you want to say this is also James's first script, you can see here that because we're using double quotations, having a single apostrophe does not change anything, okay? So if we were to save it and refresh, you'll see here that we get it exactly as we're expecting it. If we, however, put a forward slash here, you can expect that with double quotations, it will print everything as it appears in the string. So you can see now we're getting the escape string forward slash. All right, or backslash rather. So those are the main differences between print and echo, and also between using single quotations and double quotations. And we see here the multiple different ways that we can comment out lines of code in PHP.